Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, Sports City. We are back in front of this grill. This thing is lit for real in the middle of the week. Happy hump day to everybody out there, October 14th. Welcome to the Cookout. It's your boy TP Tymeless at the helm. And we do have the face of evil in the building, the villain, a.k.a. Barry Jordan. Welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening? I'm not sure if we have Barry. Barry, are you available? Can you hear me? I don't know if we're having technical difficulties. Sports City, please vibe with me. Hold on. Barry, are you available?
Can you hear? See, this is how you treat me. I've been on the line, and you're muting me. This is how you treat the villains. I want everybody to know. This is not how a hero is supposed to treat people, okay?
Sports City, this is what I'm dealing with, right, Sports City? But I'm gonna allow him to reassess himself, right? Get situated. Right now, he's a little red in the face, and he's dark-skinned people, so we have to calm him down. Somebody get that boy some water. Somebody get him some water, and let him reassess himself. So villain, how are you this evening? How are you feeling?
I was good until you just kept me off the line. I'm here. I'm ready to run. I'm about to take the spatula out of your hand and start grilling up myself.
Okay, so Sports City, first of all, right, he knows that I do the business in here, right? Second of all, he tried to send a little bird with a little message, right? And I caught the message as the bird threw it and flew away, and he sent me a couple of recipes. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I understand frustration. People salt their food. They're a little salty at this point in time. So allow me to reintroduce myself, right? How do I say goodbye?
Here we go. We're not gonna. The ratings are gonna plummet because of your singing. See, this is what I'm talking about.
The good songs that Mayberry laugh. I'll wave it.
I mean, you guys were barely in the playoffs to have a sad song to sing. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, City, hold on. Don't interrupt me. I don't interrupt you. I'll let you speak, So, Sports City, the first show that we got back in the building together, you know what I'm saying? Barry came in here swinging punches, talking about the Twins and all this, that, and the third. Well, guess how karma comes back around. So now I will let him set this thing off. If he wants a spatula, I'll give it to him. Why don't you tell me about your Yankees, since you did this to me 2 shows ago? And the last show I had to kind of open up the fridge and let you know. Yeah, laugh, because I'm laughing now. I feel like Big Pun, I'm laughing at you now. So you tell me about how you feel about the Yankees situation. You call me fat. I feel like Big Pun right now. So you tell me about the Boogie Down Bronx. I don't even want to call them the Bronx Bombers. I want to call them the Bronx like Kaputs or however, because you was coming at me when my Twins fell apart, and now look at karma come back around, and you guys aren't there anymore. Especially, I'm not gonna lie, I had you guys favored to knock off the Rays, for some odd reason, and I'm being real here. It's like some odd reason the Rays really have the Yankees number. Like I don't understand how they're able to do it. They're able to put offense together confidently, and their pitchers just know how to pitch around that lineup. It's very interesting to see a team within their division be able to figure them out. And it's always been the Red Sox, I want to say, within the past 16 years that had their number. But now it's the Rays that have stepped up and kind of, assumed the position, if you will, to be the forefront leaders of that division, at least for this season, and kind of keeping the Yankees on the wrap for another season. But I'll give you the spatula. You can cook now.
Funny you said assume the position, because I was actually watching School Days last night, so You know about that movie, Big Brother Almighty. But
yeah, you know what to call me. You know what to call me.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, listen. The Tampa Bay Rays in 2020 are a better team than the New York Yankees. That's it. That they played better this year. They owned them this year, and they beat them. Listen, it came down.
No.
It can't be
that simple. It can't be that simple.
Let the villain do his thing. Let the villain heat it up and get the people listening. Okay? It came down to Luke Voigt needing a big hit in Game 5, and he struck out to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what it came down to. But the Rays were the better team. They're a better-built team. The Yankees are very close, but they're flawed. The Yankees are very close but flawed. Okay, so I mean, losing Paxton for the year hurt. Okay, Tanaka wasn't Tanaka in the playoffs. He had a bad playoffs. But you asked him to be your number 2 when he would probably be your number 3 or number 4. Luis Severino going down with the Tommy John surgery, that hurt. So the starting pitcher after Cole was not good. And then you take into account that, you know what, Chapman can't be trusted. I mean, he gave up the big fly to Rajah Davis in Cleveland. They ended up winning that World Series, but you know, he gave up that big fly. He gave up the big fly last year to Altuve in extra innings, and this year he gave up the big fly. Listen, nobody's Mariano Rivera. I mean, he's the greatest closer to ever walk the earth, but you know, you're expected when you're a closer to get those critical outs, and he couldn't do it, and he proves that he can't do it. If I were the Yankees, I would consider having Britton be the closer and not Chapman. But that's another story for another day. The Yankees.
No, that's the story for this day. That's the story for this day.
I can get into that.
There's no story for no other day. That's right now. There's no
I can get into it.
You come in here, you want the factor, you cook. You said the better team, and then you come up with a whole recipe. You cook. You cook. There's no running. Okay, there's no running from the situation. You cook.
I'm here, dog. I'm here.
Hold on. The fact of the matter that you're trying to put this on. Hold on. The fact of the matter, you're trying to put this on Chapman. And he only gave up a home run. That's
no,
one
I'm not
run.
putting it on.
And you're talking about.
Stop.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. You just said it. I'm listening. And this is the crazy part. Okay, he gave a home run up to Rajah Davis back in Cleveland, and Cleveland did not win that World Series. They lost to the Cubs. They won the AL.
Yep.
And second, you're talking about a run that he gave up in the 8th inning. You guys still got up to bat with that lineup. Look at the lineup the Yankees have. You cannot be kidding me that you can't produce a run. You can't put this on Tanaka.
I'm about to get to that. If you stop
hold on. The score was
No, listen. I'm taking over the grill. I let you rant about your sorry ass Twins for like 20 minutes.
No.
Let me talk my ish again. Okay, listen. The Yankees are a very good team, but they're very flawed, okay? They're a right-handed team in a left-handed hitter's park. They're a team built for Fenway Park instead of Yankee Stadium, okay? Listen, Stanton is a DH that doesn't play anywhere else. Andujar is a third baseman that can't play third base, left field, or first base. Voit is a first baseman who can't play first base and is a better DH. This Torres is a shortstop that isn't a shortstop, should be playing second base. The Rays have interchangeable parts. They have like 3 or 4 players that can play multiple positions. That what makes them a great team. The Yankees need a left-handed bat. If I were the Yankees, this is my wish list. Trade Voit. You have control over him. He's cheap. Trade him for a left-handed bat.
Are you serious? What?
Yes. Listen, Voit is a good player, but he doesn't fit this team. He's too right-handed, and he's an error machine at first base, okay? If they kept him, I wouldn't be angry. If they were smart, I would trade him for a left-handed bat. Frazier is your starting left fielder. Even though he's right-handed, he's your starting left fielder. If you bring back Gardner, he's off the bench, and he's your left-handed bat. Gio Urshela proved he's a third baseman. Gleyber Torres proved he's not a shortstop. He's an error machine. He can't make the routine plays. Move him back to second base. Get Didi Gregorius back in pinstripes. If you can't get Didi Gregorius, open up the checkbook and get Lindor from the Cleveland Indians. If I were the Yankees, I would trade Voit, and there's a guy in Atlanta, left-handed bat, that you should open up your checkbook for in Freddie Freeman. That guy should be a Yankee. If he's not, if you don't want to open up the bank for him, maybe you get a cheaper first baseman. There's some good ones out there. Sanchez, I would be done with him, but I think the Yankees are going to give him another shot to be the catcher. I think the guy can hit, but if he can hit more than his weight, then he's a serviceable catcher. Him hitting 100 is I don't believe that's the hitter that he is, but you got to get him right because the catchers they got behind him, Higashi and company, are not going to get it done. They're not as an everyday catcher, they're not going to get it done. But the number one priority, DJ LeMahieu, you have to pay him $20 to $25 million. I don't care what it is, you got to pay him. This guy's one of the best hitters, if not arguably the best pure hitter in baseball. You got to re-sign him. Then the pitching staff, you can bank on Severino coming back mid-year from Tommy John. I think that Cashman was on sports radio today, said June, July for Tommy John. Do you need another pitcher? Probably. Do you go get Bauer? Do you go get another pitching arm? Do you bring back Tanaka? Those are the kind of questions. Can you count on Herman and Garcia to be your 4 and 5? It's a lot of question marks. But the Yankees, I think they need to spend a little bit more to build this team and build it right because there's no left-handed bats. They need left-handed bats. That's where Lindor comes into play. That's where Freddie Freeman comes into play. And I don't care what anybody says. Even though Voit led the majors in home runs, sell him while the value is there. Get rid of him, and I would trade Andujar too because he doesn't fit the team. See what you can get if you can get a left-handed bat. The Yankees should have never got rid of Greg Bird, even though Voit hit better than him. He was a left-handed bat that was perfect for Yankee Stadium. I'm done.
Okay. First and foremost, while you got this thing burning up, Voit was probably the best batter this season for them, right? You're picking on everybody and still want. Hold on. You just finished and said you're done, and you're trying to cut me off. You sit down.
No, you sit down. I'm agreeing with you. You're absolutely right.
You listen. I've listened, and you want more to a team that has the payroll that's probably one of the top 3, top 5 in the league, and want more. This is the team that everybody wishes they had their owners put their pockets on the line to do it, and you still want more to get rid of one of the best bats on your team that was streaky as ever and rolled into the postseason and it didn't go your way. Come on, this is outlandish. This is ludicrous. Who are you? I don't get it. You ain't even the evil no more. Like you're insane. You're loony. Like this is out of line. Like I don't get how that he gets to toss his weight around and do this to people. This is. I wish people could just hear this. Okay, so we do have someone else at the queue calling from the 703. I think this might be one of the Simmons people. Hello, welcome to the Cookout. What's your name? You're on the line.
You know, here's the thing, gentlemen. Here's the thing. You know, I come in here fresh out of church, to be cool, calm, and collected. You know, I got my wife in the car, my son in the back sleeping, or whatever the case may be. And y'all really about to make me yell at y'all right now, talking about, Yankees and this, that, and the third. Let's be very, very clear, okay? I am a Yankees fan, okay? So let's be very, very clear. But all things considered, all balls, and when we have to play station-to-station baseball, we struggle immensely. And the Tampa Bay Rays, somebody, again, no disrespect to anybody else, but they had our number all year. It doesn't matter when we played them, how often we played them, this, that, and the third. Some teams just have your number, and you have to tip your cap to them. Honestly, I don't agree with the whole get rid of Voit thing. That to me is
Thank you.
Is ludicrous. That to me is ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Again, my man had a bad series. It happened. What you need to do, I do agree with the fact that we do need to go get some better pitching. If we can get a left-handed bat, so be it, but not at the expense of getting rid of one of the hottest bats in our lineup. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the Tampa Bay Rays had our number. You know what I'm saying? You tip your cap to them. You know what I'm saying? But you don't blow it up and trade low and this, that, and the third just because the team got our number. We beat them last year. You know what I'm saying? This year, it was their turn. As frustrating as it is, see, we Yankees fans are spoiled. We very, very spoiled because we don't understand how to lose. We don't understand how the ebb and flow of baseball works. Like, nobody predicted the Tampa Bay Rays to be in this position. Nobody predicted the Houston Astros to be in the position that they were in. But they got hot, they drafted well, and they got streaky, went on a run, and at the end of the day, you have to stay true to your form and your blueprint. And again, trading assets and this, that, and the third because he had a bad series, clearly forgetting the rest of the numbers he put up all year. Smart man, not smart baseball.
Wait, so serious. First of all, welcome to the show. Second of all, the villain didn't say trade him because he had a bad series. I said trade him because he's a liability at first base. He can't catch, he can't field the position, and he's a right-handed bat when we need a left-handed bat. The other players you can't get rid of. You're about to pay Judge a mega contract. You can't get rid of Stanton because he's about to opt into his last 7 years. He's a Yankee for 7 years. He's stuck in DH. You can't move him to DH, boy. If I had my way, I would get rid of Stanton and put Voit at DH, but you can't do it. Uracell is your third baseman. Torres is probably your second baseman. DJ is probably, if he's going to move to second, DJ's got to play first. That means there's no place on this team for Voit. I don't care how many home runs he hit. If you can get a left-handed bat, that's the guy you got to get rid of to get the bat. You're not going to get rid of anybody else. I'm sorry. You're not going to get rid of Frazier. He proved he can play at this level. You're not going to get rid of Gio Urshela. He's one of the best fielding third basemen in the league. You're not getting rid of DJ LeMahieu, who's probably the best hitter in the baseball. So who else are you going to get rid of?
That logic doesn't make any sense because you can't sit there and say, you know what I'm saying, you don't care about how many home runs and how he hit the ball. But then in the very next breath talk about, you know what, we need to get rid of him because he's not a left-handed bat. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro.
Dude, we're in a left-handed hitter's ballpark. We don't have a left-handed hitter. What is so hard about that? We got a short porch in right field. We have nobody to hit the porch in right field.
Sports City, this is beautiful. You want to know why, Sports City? I'm having Yankee on Yankee crime in the middle of a cookout, right? And this is the crazy part, right? He wants more like Thanos. You know how Thanos wanted 50% of the population decrease, and he snapped his fingers and everything happened, and everybody turned to dust and so on and so forth. This is your villain. This is Barry wanting. He said, if I have it my way, I want 50% of the population decreasing, and then we can go on and be bygones and bygones. This is exactly what's happening. And just like Sirius said, you can't have your cake and eat it too, and he got defeated in the end game. In the end game, in the MLB postseason, the Yankees got defeated. They went to the time machine. They figured them out in the AL East. They brought it to the forefront in the MLB postseason, and this is what you have. I understand that the porch is like 318 in right field. I understand that if these guys could turn opposite field and hit the ball over the fence, it'd be a different ball game. You guys have Stanton. You guys have Judge. You guys got Voit that was hitting the hell out the ball, and you want more. And LeMahieu, just like you said, is one of the more dangerous left-handed batters in the game, and you want more. Cut it out. You guys lost. Deal with the losses and come back and lick your wounds. If not, I
won't say that.
Wait, hold on. It's not like we need more offense and don't want to look at the pitches. The pitches did well with Cole. You guys did enough to have a 1-1 game. You guys still had a shot to get a ball out the park in that ninth inning, and it didn't happen. There's no excuse. You know what? Go get you. I'm gonna talk to Sirius. You go get some tissue and clean those tears. I'm here for you. I am here to console you. This is what I'm here for.
Chapman has to go. Chapman has to
No,
go.
Chapman does not have to go. If Chapman leaves, believe me, they will have helicopter and airplane service immediately. They will, if y'all get rid of Aroldis Chapman, that would be one of the more boneheaded moves that the Yankees do at this point in time.
No, spoken like a true fan that doesn't know what a payroll is. Get lost. Chapman is all he does is blow the big game. He might get you those outs. He throws 100 miles an hour that everybody can hit and see. He might give a little single, maybe a run here or there. Then when it really counts, he can't get the 3 outs that you need. So I'm sorry, Chapman is not your closer. Britton's your closer.
This is total frustration, Sports City. No, listen. Okay, so now they're starting to heal themselves, Sports City. This is like Thanos and Loki getting together, trying to put a situation together. I can't have this happen, Sports City. I'm trying my best. I got my shield with the star on there. I'm trying to save us as they try to keep putting together the Yankees somehow, some way. They need more. They need more. Like, cut it out. You guys compete with what you got. Everybody else got to go out there and compete. They want to get rid of Chapman because Chapman. Listen, every pitcher is going to give up a hit. Every pitcher is going to give up a hit regardless. If he's throwing heat, that's 100 regardless. At the end of the game, while these guys are getting tired or wearing down and they got to still pick up and pop up to try and hit a shot or make something get in play, that's hard. That's hard. Give these hitters credit. Chapman's out there doing work. That's the average for people to get hits on them. That's a low number. Is that a high number? So you're telling me batters averaging against Chapman in the closing position, there's a high average hitting against him late in the game? Let's be honest. Look at the previous postseason. Look at the previous postseason, Tymeless. Okay, I know exactly what the previous postseason looked like.
Okay. So we have
Chapman wasn't the part.
Chapman's ball. Off of Chapman's ball. His fastball don't scare nobody, bro. You can't come into a closing situation with just one pitch. People tee off on that. Hell,
Barry, do you agree? Barry, do you agree that the batting average is low against Chapman when he comes in, or is it a high batting average? Is he giving up a 280 or better batting average when he's coming in? Or is it like in the one?
He gives up his hits, and he Sirius is right. He's a one-trick pony. I mean, he can throw it by a lot of people, but if you're looking for that 100-mile fastball, and guess what? It ain't 100 miles an hour no more. It's about, 96, 97? It ain't as hard as he used to throw. So his arm's starting to slow down. He bulked up all that weight over in the offseason just to throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that got deposited in Petco Park. So listen, Chapman's not the closer. Next dish. I'm done.
I asked you a question, but you don't want to answer. I said, what do you think the averages are when Chapman comes in? Is it a 280 or higher, or do you think he's in the ones? Not him pushing a pitch past people and one home run was given up.
It is what it is. It's irrelevant now. We're moving on to Miami. I'll pull Adam Gates.
Oh, really? Look at me. This is what I'm talking about. They can't think that he's pitching. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? It's worth it. I love it. This is what I leave karma alone. Karma, I do not want to be bothered. I do not want to be bothered. I just want to say hello. Now, as he said, we move things to Orlando because I don't know about Miami, but we'll go to Orlando 2019 and 2020 season, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm glad that he went that route because I am a little frustrated, Sports City, and I think this will get a little spicy in the kitchen on where I'm going to go with this one. They win the championship. LeBron gets the MVP. He gets his speech in, and he says the Lakers want their respect. Rob wants his respect. Coach Vogel wants his respect. And Darren, I want my respect. Okay, so I'm going to start there, right? And this is the crazy part. You mean to tell me that you win your fourth championship and you're acting like nobody in the nation respects you? Now, I get it. The comparisons are there that everybody's trying to draw a comparison to you and Kobe, or draw comparisons to you and Magic, or draw comparisons to you and Mike. The comparisons are going to be there, and obviously that's respect. That is respect that they are, managing to put you in that discussion. If they like you to be better than these people or not is one thing. To say that they're not respecting you because they're not putting you ahead of the names that are there that have been here before you, that is absolutely ridiculous. Who's blinding you? Who is talking to you? Who's in your corner that really has you thinking that you're better than everybody that has ever played this game, and your percentage when it's crunch time is below average? You just got to 40% in your career here. Yes, it is amazing that you've been to 10 NBA Finals. I will tip my hat. I'll give you a round of applause, standing ovation, whatever you need. High five, dap that you want to do, all of those gang daps that you be trying to do with everybody after the game. So be it. You get credit for doing that. But to say that people are not respecting what you do, you are blind. You are not listening, or not even. I don't even want to say you're listening. You're not even watching the atmosphere or the horizon of the game. That's still trying to put your name in front of everybody by your say so. And everybody else has to help you by trying to speak up for you. Like, I don't get that. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then you have all of the media, all of the, the analysts that are trying to say, oh, now he surpassed Magic, now he surpassed Mike, and now he surpassed Kobe. It's like, okay, he's won his 4th championship. He's done it with 3 teams. All of the championships that LeBron has had, he's had at least multiple All-Stars next to him. And I get it. They try to do the Mike thing with him and Scottie. What other All-Star has Mike ever had in his career outside of Scottie Pippen? None. Then you look at everybody else that has had championship relevance that's in this discussion. Kobe had a couple, which are alongside with him and Shaq and him and Bynum and him and Powell and him and Artest. Like, those are some of the names that you throw out there. Magic had a fair amount, so I think it was Worthy, Kareem. I'm not sure if Coop was one of them, but it's a couple names up there. But you look at all of the teams that LeBron has won a championship with the Heat team and all of the players that he had there. Then he won again with the Heat team, and they still had those players there with Shane Battier, Miller, Wade, Bosh. He has names there. And then when he gets to Cleveland, this team already had Kyrie there. Kevin Love came. Trying to think of everybody was there. J.R. Smith, they impacted that team to be around LeBron. And then he gets to L.A. and they load that team up with Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. They had one, and this is crazy. DeMarcus Cousins is going to get a ring. You think all of JaVale McGee. I'm just thinking of all of the names that either had championship qualifications or have been there before or have all-star qualifications as well. I'm not buying the fact that you're sitting up here saying that people are disrespecting you. You are playing the game. Of course, the comparisons are going to be there because you're relevant in that top 5, top 10 discussion. And the crazy part is the person that, bows at the knee and kisses your hand almost every week is Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith is saying that he's not giving you the credit over Michael Jordan. Like, there's multiple people that are saying that. These are the people that you grew up watching play ball. How do you feel like you catapult over Kobe? How do you catapult over Tim Duncan? How dare you try to say you catapult over Mike, and you say the reason why you wear 23 is because of Mike. You play the game because Mike was the one that you watched. At least get there. You were dominating a bullcrap Eastern Conference and get to the West and get slapped around last year, then got injured. They come around and they stack up the team more, and then you finally get to the promised land. Like, no, that's not disrespect. Like, no, you're still going to be in that discussion until you prove more. You have more to do. Everybody that I just mentioned that I feel like is ahead of you, which is Tim, Kobe, Magic, Kareem, they've all done, and Mike. Like, you still got to get there with Mike. That's a lot. Like, there's a lot for me to start giving LeBron consideration before I give him the leg up. But, Barry, I'll let you jump at that. How do you feel about the Lakers' success in winning the championship and the bull crap that LeBron tried to force out saying that he's being disrespected, which I highly disagree with him being disrespected?
You threw out a lot. And I can't even follow up everything you said to either have a counterpoint or agreement. So, listen, congratulations to the Lakers on their 17th championship, whatever. Listen, I totally agree with you about the respecting, because I don't know where he's coming from, TP. I don't know if he wants respect that he's the greatest player ever. Does he want his respect from, like, people like, 45, the president, who keeps saying, shut up and dribble? Like, who is he looking for this respect for? So, I mean, that's what I'm a little fuzzy with. But I tend to think it's about basketball. So everything he said before that, the Lakers want their respect, Rob Pelinka want their – all that was bullshit. okay? What he really wanted to talk about was himself, numero uno, the guy he cares most about, the guy with the two thumbs pointing at himself, okay? Listen, what I don't – we said it a couple weeks ago. What is it that these young kids, these LeBron stans and LeBron himself don't understand? Why is it disrespect to say that you're maybe the second greatest player to ever play in the NBA? You know how many people played in the NBA? The NBA has been around for over 75 years. You know how many people played? And you're considered number 2. Why is that disrespect? Like, everybody respects the fact that you lost 6 finals. Everybody respects the fact that after the Mavericks series that you said we're going back to our old crappy lives. Everybody respects the fact that you jumped ship to go to Miami, and had your decision fiasco. Everybody respects that. Like, what, like, I don't get it. Like, dude, like, it's this mentality with these kids that have these entourages, and I'm not going to say they're gangs or whatever because that's crap, you know what I mean? But, like, they have these yes men around to tell them, like, kind of like Rocky, in the movie Rocky, where Apollo Creed had, his trainer, you're the men love you, women love you, women want to be with you, like, little kids, like, everybody's hyping this dude up. You're the greatest. You're the GOAT. No, Jordan can't see you. Like, dude, you're not on Jordan's level. Jordan never lost a final. Jordan, when he won a championship, nobody won a championship until he left the league. Like, this dude shut the league down. He shut out so many people. You're not on that level. That's not disrespect to say that you're number 2. Like, take your 4th championship, take your MVP, and go. Like, we get it. You're number 2. That's not disrespect. You're number 2. In my book, you're number 2. And it's arguable to put you ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But that's where you are. What is so wrong with that? The only thing that this finals proved is that there's still a conversation with him and Jordan. There was nobody that had a conversation with Jordan outside of maybe Kobe Bryant. Nobody had that conversation. Like, if he had lost it, then you say, no, he's not in Jordan's league. But he won it, so he keeps the conversation. Where is congratulations to the Lakers. That's all. Congratulations.
Look, and this is crazy, right? Because, like I get it, and I'm not gonna lie, be like the story of LeBron when he came to the league. Before he got to the league, he was a 7th grader practicing with the Cavs. He got John Lucas fired. I've been following him ever since then. I've always had a strong like for LeBron, but in 2012, it's like I had to choose a side. Do I go with LeBron, a kid that I love out of Akron, or do I go with my heart with the Thunder? It's like, of course I'm going to go with my boys, but it always built up like we got to get him back for what happened in 2012. There was no dislike for him, and it's like this is the media. These are the people that are speaking up that keep trying to draw that heightened comparison between him and Mike or the guys of yesteryear. With them comparing you, I don't understand how you could look at that as disrespect. LeBron, I don't care who is in your corner, get them away from you to keep you thinking like that. And every time when he talks about it, he gives that grin like, yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm about to say it. And he don't even feel comfortable saying it. And then try to take the humble way out. Stop it. You defuse the bomb because you know you're not where Mike at. You don't even have the capacity to say who did you stop from getting an NBA championship. Who? Jimmy Butler? You can't say that you stopped Stephen because Stephen swept you. And somebody that I know that's close to me on one of these sport pages said, who do you know as a great or in this GOAT conversation that got swept in the finals twice? LeBron got swept in the finals twice. Not just once, 2 times. Like, get out of here. Listen, LeBron, you got a lot more work to do. Do you think if Michael Jordan got swept in the finals that Mike wouldn't be out there ready to kill somebody? Like, kill somebody.
Exactly.
Like, or do you think Magic Johnson – hold on. If you think Magic Johnson got to the finals and got swept by somebody, you think Magic wouldn't be ready to come back around and kill somebody? You must be out your mind. I can't even imagine looking at how people still put LeBron over Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan made the Spurs relevant. I don't care, like, and I may be wrong, God forbid, karma may come and get me, but I don't think the Spurs will ever win another championship in their existence. Unless it probably happens like 10 to 17 to 22 to 30 years down the road. It's going to be something like that when we old and gray and have a game be like, boy, I remember back in my day it was a boy called Big Fundamentals. and that boy just do everything in the paint. Boy, I'm telling you, he was bad. He was bad. That's the type of conversation we're going to wait for the Spurs to be relevant in championship conversation. Pop might end up getting kicked out of there or fired if the Spurs have another lackluster season because of Tim Duncan. The expectancy was for Tim Duncan to come up there and make them championship relevant in the West, and you're still giving him the leg up over Tim Duncan. I don't have LeBron over Timmy. I don't have him over Timmy. Yeah, LeBron does more for his team because he's a all-around player, like offensively, but he don't defend well. Tim played the paint defensively. Like no, I'm not. Kareem, and if we looked at, you said you making an argument, let's get LeBron's resume. And then I want you to pull out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume, and I'll say good night to you when you start reading it because you're going to fall asleep. You're going to fall asleep trying to read Kareem's resume. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sitting up there watching it. And then, okay, so you give LeBron the leg up for making the finals 10 times and winning 4. Magic been to the – okay, he had an 11-year career before they forced him to retire. He made the finals 9 times in 11 years and won 5. Are you out of your mind trying to give him the leg up over Magic? And Magic won the finals as a rookie while Kareem was injured. In the game everybody talking about, he had a triple-double.
Those 2 times he didn't make the finals, TP. The Rockets and the Blazers. They should have won that Rockets series. They were the better team. They didn't show up. And the Blazers. Yeah, that fluke shot over the head. The fluke shot over the head by Sampson. And the one the Blazers got, Magic had a hamstring injury. Like Magic couldn't ball. Like seriously. I'm not watching this happen. There are names that I will put in front of LeBron that I bet you LeBron would raise his eyebrows if he was in front of me and I was cooking. If I was cooking, it'd be a different discussion. And I'm not sitting up here watching people say, oh, he played defense. Since when? Where? Why? Who did he defend? He's scared of Kevin Durant. You say Kevin Durant, it'll be the Lion King Mufasa scene with the hyenas. Say it again. Kevin Durant. Exactly.
He's shivering. Like, you must be out your mind. I don't want to hear that.
Where's his defensive player of the year? So, I mean, Jordan's got one. Jordan has one.
Listen, hold on. We got people in queue. Wait. We're cooking. We got people in queue. We got people that are called in the queue. If you want to get in here or talk, press 1. We could get you into the discussion. We do have Sirius back in the building. Sirius, welcome back to the Cookout. I don't know if you
go ahead, and then I'm gonna chime in. Sirius, go ahead. Talk your talk.
No, I just came back on the tail end, man. I'm not sure what the conversation is. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with LeBron. So what's up?
Okay, all right. So it's LeBron versus Jordan, all right? So here's the deal. TP, we don't agree a lot, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. Where's the defensive player of the year? And then it's like, okay, all right, let's do this. Let's do this, right? Jordan never, ever, the moment was never too big for him, okay? Never. Like, maybe in the 93 Eastern Conference Finals when they went down 2-0 to the Knicks and he went gambling. And then what happened? He went off. Had 56 points and then won the next 4 games, and that was it. Magic had his moment. He was tragic Magic. You know TP like I do. Bird had his moment in the finals where he had adversity. Kareem, everybody thought they were throwing dirt on Kareem. They thought he was finished before he went off against the Pistons. Like these players, Tim Duncan had rough patches. He lost. Like Kobe had a couple rough ones with Shaq against the Pistons. Like all these great players had their moment. Jordan never had that moment in the finals where it was too big. Jordan always rose to the occasion, never went to Game 7. Plus, Michael Jordan never goes around having him telling people, give me my respect. Never goes around saying, I'm the GOAT. I have to be the greatest. Going on his own TV show saying, after I won my 3rd championship, I knew I was the greatest. Jordan never lets anybody hear him say that. He lets his play on the basketball court talk for him. He lets all of us, people like me and you that do this show, come out here and say, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest. That's the difference. If you got to tell somebody that you're the greatest, guess what? You ain't the greatest.
Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and say this because I took that whole statement multiple ways. Okay? First and foremost, I don't think there should be any discussion about the greatest of all times when it comes to basketball, because I think we all sitting here understanding where Michael Jordan is in the pantheon of this sport. Okay. Second and foremost, LeBron James, has had to deal and shoulder a lot for the game of basketball on and off the floor. Keep in mind, gentlemen, this is a guy who was told to pretty much shut up and dribble when speaking out on social injustice and things of that nature. Again, maybe I'm naive, or maybe I'm choosing to look at it with a different set of glasses, but when he said, "Give me my damn respect," I don't think it was so much about his accolades on the basketball floor, because if you sit down and actually speak to LeBron James and listen to why he talks about Michael Jordan, he understands, in my opinion, where he's at. When you sit down and look at LeBron James and talk to LeBron James about the greats of this game, I'm pretty sure he'll be the first one to tell you Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume is flipping insane. But when you start talking about giving my damn respect, I think he's talking about what he's talking about off the floor more than he's talking about on the floor.
I get it.
That's how I took it.
I understand. I understand that, but I don't get it that him being in his discussion is looking at him being disrespected. Me looking at LeBron in any type of basketball conversation with him being disrespected is like he's not in the discussion. Like, oh, he don't get to be in the discussion. That's how I would look at it as it being disrespectful.
Exactly.
Not that he's not better than these players that are in the discussion. It's like, no, this is a debatable discussion that you think that you have the leg up on these people, and these guys have paved the way for you to try to be there, and you've actually failed a couple of times. Like, yes, the best, I want to say outlook on being successful is the failures that you go through. But you fell a couple of times to get there. You are waiting till you are 35, going on 36 right now, 2020. December 30th, he'll be 36 to try to get to his fifth championship, to try to get there. Because there's no guarantee, because next year you got the Splash Brothers coming back in the West Coast. You got a lot of things coming back with Kevin Durant coming with Brooklyn with him and Kyrie. There's no guarantee that they knock off the East, let alone that they get to handle business in the West. There's going to be teams that are gunning for them. They're going to be the hunted. I could care less than how it fell together this year with everything that's impacted by the COVID. There's no way that I'm sitting up here to say that he's being disrespected. I think that he's being disrespectful by everybody has to appease him to say that he's the best at this point in time. Are you kidding? Like I'm not buying that. Like there's more names that I could put on this grill right now, especially looking at resume for resume or what they've done to the sport, that I'm going to give the leg up. But LeBron is the face of the game at this point in time. They're going to put him in that discussion to try to make him say that he's better than him. I'm not giving him the leg up over Kobe, even though we've been in the crossover cafe. Me, Nas, and Royce go at it, and some of them will say LeBron and we'll say Kobe. Like that discussion is there. That's a debate. But him and Kareem, like we could really say that he's better than Kareem? Could we really say he's better than Magic? Like we could really say that he's better than Tim? Like, okay, yeah, he did work for the Cleveland Cavaliers. His relevance to Cleveland compared to Tim Duncan's relevance to San Antonio. You tell me who impacted whose organization more. Tell me, please. I'll wait. I'll wait. Are you serious? The Spurs had David Robinson. They were hoping for David Robinson to win the championship. He couldn't do nothing without Tim Duncan. Nothing. He was getting monster mashed by Shaq, monster mashed by Hakeem Olajuwon. The Lakers will pulverize him trying to come out there, try to run with Kareem and them. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? You were in the East and nobody could do you. This year you were in the finals and nobody could do you or Anthony Davis. Let's be honest. There was nobody that was lined up for him. The only one that could probably deal with him was Kawhi. Kawhi and them got knocked off because I want to say more or less the load management guys that they had, and they couldn't find their chemistry together. Like the Clippers have their own issue. But there was nobody to handle them right now. Next year, I think it'll be more fair with an even playing field to see how things pan out. But I'm not sitting up here saying that he's being disrespected. Like, I'm not buying that. Not by any means.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either, TP. I totally agree. I don't understand. If he wasn't on the Mount Rushmore, then I would say you're being disrespected. But that's not the case. Like, career for career, he's going to have a better career than Michael Jordan, okay? Like, he's going to have the numbers to back it up when it's all said and done. But is he the greatest of all time? That's a different discussion. Like, career, he's not even had a better career than Kareem yet. He might at the end, but he hasn't even had a better career than Kareem. So that's up for debate. But greatest of all time, like, there's a lot of things that go into that. You're not there yet. So I'm ready to get. I love this because I love getting under LeBron Stan's skin because they are the ones that really, toot his horn and say that he's the greatest. But you don't have to tell me you're the greatest. I'll tell you if you're the greatest. That's my position. Jordan is the greatest. Period.
And not to be rude, and I don't want to sound nasty, Sports City, but there's nobody getting killed over LeBron James sneakers. Nobody's getting killed over those sneakers. Nobody. But if you step on a pair of Jordans, I suggest you run or you be properly strapped up.
Exactly. Yo, man, your joints are messed up, yo.
right. Yeah. That shout out to the movie Do the Right Thing. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, you got my blood boiling right there. See, this is what evil does. The evil would do this to me. Like I feel like Agent Smith in the Matrix put his hand in the middle of my chest and is trying to get that black man into my body. Like, no, get out of me. Get out of me. Okay. We have some tragic news. No, it's not going to happen. I'm going to get back to my sensitive stuff. We have some tragic news that is actually taking place in football. Nick Saban has been reported to be positive with the COVID-19 situation, and Alabama may have to suspend the game this week. I want to see what happens with that, and I don't want to spend too much time there, but it's also another situation that I know Mr. Simmons will love. But Le'Veon Bell has actually been released by the New York Jets and the proper landing place for him. Now, I was trying to think my hardest on where he could have landed. I've heard some teams, they said he may go back to Pittsburgh. The Cardinals may have been a good team. If you guys have another place where he could end up falling, that would be great. But I do not want him to fall to Tampa Bay. Do you hear me? Please do not have that dude down there in Tampa Bay. I don't want Brady with another weapon. It's like they are just prepping him to play at home in Tampa for a Super Bowl because he'd be the first quarterback to ever do it. I don't want to hear it. He already has Leonard Fournette. He already has Shady McCoy. The Shady's been out. And if you give him Le'Veon Bell with like that, please do not let that happen. Like I don't want that to happen. But if you guys have other teams or places that he could potentially end up landing, I'll allow you to speak on it. Barry, I'll let you go first, and I'll go to Sirius next. Where do you think Le'Veon Bell can go? We do also have a caller in queue, and I'll get them in after.
I'll go quick. I mean, first of all, I hope Nick Saban recovers and gets healthy and everything works out for him, one of the greatest college coaches of all time. Le'Veon Bell, first of all, the Jets, they rather make Adam Gase look right than stick with Le'Veon Bell. So that just lets you know how shitty that organization is. Like, why does Gase still have a job? Quinn gets fired, but Gase still has a job. Meanwhile, I think the Steelers are a good idea. I think Tampa Bay is a good fit for him just because, Jones can't catch the ball. I think, McCoy hasn't really been completely healthy, and Fournette's hurt again. I think the best fit for him is Chicago. I think he should go to the Bears. I think, especially with them losing Tariq Cohen, the Bears have cap space. I think they got about $10 million in cap space. I think Montgomery has been doing pretty well out there, but honestly, he's not a pass-catching back. I think Le'Veon Bell, if he has any tread on those tires, I think he could help that passing game out a lot, and he can probably get some open spaces with Miller and Robinson down there. So I think that's the best spot for him. I think the Cardinals was a good fit. I think the Browns are okay because they do need another back until Chubb comes back, but, Chubb will be back. So I think if Le'Veon wants to get to a team that can contend, I think the Bears have a good defense. I think Foles is the right quarterback for them, and I think he can help them a lot.
Okay, Sirius, before you go, I'm going to get the caller in. Caller from the 619 area code. Welcome to the Cookout. What's your name and what's on your mind tonight?
My name is James King, man. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And
oh, God.
I think the best place for Le'Veon Bell is actually in a room with AB. I think both of them need some help. They should, like maybe he needs a year off from football, get his head together. But if he had to end up on a team, I think maybe the Houston Texans. But I think, it's
interesting.
When you get cut by a team such as the Jets, there has to be something wrong on both sides. So, I'm kind of interested to see, what was the backstory behind him getting released.
Well, no, they said he was requesting to be traded, and I think it was because of how bad the Jets were playing is the reason why he wanted to go. And I'm putting that more on management and the coaching. I'm putting that more on management and coaching before I put that to Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell could be successful with a good cast around him because don't forget, this guy was one of the best running backs in the league when he was on Pittsburgh. Things didn't work out, and I somewhat agree with you because of, I want to say, the mentality that both of him and Antonio Brown have had, but both of them deserve to be on the field. Just because they have, insane thinking thought processes, it's not like these guys can't go out there and have all-pro type of outputs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to say more or less Le'Veon's is waiting to be seen, but we can't act like Antonio Brown's last seen on a football field that he wasn't dominating a cornerback. Like, a cornerback wasn't dreaming about number 84. Like, that. Antonio Brown, he has his issues. But if it were up to me, you could put him in the middle of Detroit, not now, but right now. Like I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's happening. But I understand where you're coming from, though. Like, because you being a Steelers fan and him being a former player for the team, you feel a certain way about him. You and also Mr. Simmons here feel a certain way. But Sirius, your thoughts on both Saban's situation and your former boy like James is, Mr. Bell.
First of all, shout out to Nick Saban. I wish him a speedy recovery. My continued prayers for those who he may have contacted or may be in harm's way as they start to contact, trace, and do things of that nature.
Absolutely.
I hope that, I hope his strand or whatever he has is not, as bad as others. This COVID-19 virus, man, is no joke. So hopefully he's okay. Now, as for Le'Veon Bell, I'm gonna say this. If I hear or see one more Steeler fan talk about bring him back home, I said this yesterday, I'm kicking somebody. Because we don't want them. Let me be very, very, very clear. There are a lot of things that you can do. You want to get more money, go make your money. You don't feel like you're a good fit, so be it. But you don't leave an organization in the manner in which you did and then try to come back with your head between your legs. Pittsburgh does not go that way. You know what I'm saying? So he's not ending up in Pittsburgh. The likely place that I'm hearing is Miami is a good spot for him. He's a Florida boy. The boy loves to hang out in Florida. Houston is not a bad option. I heard the caller a minute ago mention Houston. Keep an eye, and again, I don't know why I'm about to say this, keep an eye on Detroit. Keep an eye on Detroit, because here's what I do know. Matt Patricia loves old running backs. And if you can bring Le'Veon Bell over to Detroit and have him work with Matt Stafford and DeAndre Swift and those guys in Detroit, yeah, about that.
Serious got jokes. No, you know what it is? Seriously, DP. So it's been a bad fit in New York. Basically, the only offensive weapon the Jets had was Bell, and they refused to get him the ball in the passing game last week. So there was a tweet out there about it. There was a tweet that said, why didn't you use, Bell more? And Bell liked it and retweeted it and whatever. So the Jets have been actively they tried to trade him last year and nobody wanted him. So they've tried to trade him this year because the relationship between Bell and Gase just got to the point where it was just unbearable, and they couldn't find a trade partner, so they released him. But how stupid are the Jets? Because now, tomorrow, ding, ding, they got to pay him $6 million after they cut him. The Jets are the worst organization in football right now. They're a disgrace. Their coach looks like he quits on his team every game. Like he throws up his hands. Like, a fourth and short or a third and short, instead of getting the ball to your best weapon, Bell, you hand it to a fullback. That's like, I give up. Whatever. I'll try it next week. I'll get him next week. Like, the Jets are a disgrace. Bell is better off if he has anything left. He doesn't look like he has a lot of burst. I mean, to be honest with you, he hasn't looked like the Bell from 2017.
It's kind of hard to
do. Be fair. He does not have the same offensive line that he had in Pittsburgh. We are not seeing the same line. Like be fair, the Jets are terrible all across the board. There's a quarterback that nobody fears. Sam Darnold is in a situation that they went after him high, and they're going to go after another quarterback, hoping that he tanks for Trevor. No, don't do that. That's not the same offense that he was facing. No, I'm not letting that get that far. Anything else around the Le'Veon Bell situation? Because there is a topic that I want to talk about before we do get out of the cookout, though.
No, I'm good with Le'Veon Bell. He's better off not being in New York.
Okay. The last discussion I do want to talk about is something that turned my stomach. Even though I'm not a Cowboy fan by any means, I do not like them. Like, competitively, I want to see them not do well, right? But ever since this kid came out of Mississippi State, I love the way the guy played. But he went to the Cowboys, and it's like, screw you, too, because you're on that roster. But Dak Prescott's injury and the compound fracture that happened, I don't like seeing, like, people pop their leg or ankle like that. I'm thinking of, like, Gordon Hayward for the Celtics when it happened a year or two ago, or the kid Kevin Ware that played basketball for Louisville when he took that jump shot in the Final Four and his shin bone snapped and it came out of his skin. It's like, I don't like seeing that because it's disgusting. His leg was so wrapped up in that sock and tape so well that his bone came out of the skin underneath the sock and tape that he thought that he could put it back in place, but he couldn't, and they had to hurry up and come to him. But I did not want to see Dak like that. I'd rather just see Dak like, falter or something of that nature, but not want to see him out due to injury. And Dak, I'm going to speak on my own personal agenda, not on behalf of Sports City, even though Sports City probably will support this. I'll speak for Sports City. I'll take the bullet if not. But I want to see you get back on the field as best as possible. I don't want to say fast. You take as much time as possible to go out there and compete. Then we could go back to being, competitive enemies. But, man to man, I don't want to see anybody injured. But unfortunate situation for the Cowboys that they did have Andy Dalton behind them to manage the game enough to win the game up against the Giants. But this would be a tough scenario if Andy Dalton is able to go out there and be successful with this offense. I want to see how you guys feel about the Dak Prescott injury and go from there. Barry, I'll start with you first. And you were seeing this firsthand up against Big Blue.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I'm a Cowboy hater as a Giant fan, but it was tough to watch. I was sitting in my new basement, and I didn't cry. I was like, it's one of those things when you see it, you're like, it's horrific, and your stomach turns, and you just feel horrible for him because I give him a lot of crap. And when he came into the league, he was a dump and dime guy, and he doesn't. I said it last week. He doesn't show up big in big games, and he's just a stat filler. But the guy's talented. The guy made himself into a really good quarterback and one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. He bet on himself, playing under the franchise tag, not getting that 5th year. But to bet on yourself and then have something like this is horrific. I think Des Bryant and a couple other guys said it right. Jerry Jones better take care of him. And I think he better take care of Dak Prescott. I mean, if he is able to play next year, you better give him a contract and you better let him play. I mean, I don't care how well Andy Dalton plays. He can lead them to the Super Bowl. The best thing that could happen is the Cowboys miss the playoffs, so that they know how much they really need Dak Prescott. But, it's sad because, if it was Tony Romo got his $100 million and Dak Prescott didn't get his money. They were playing hardball in that last year, which is kind of ludicrous to me. I mean, if anything in the NFL, you want to give them the last year because the value of the contract keeps going up. So I don't know. Listen, he comes back and he's going to prove that even though he's not good, I don't feel like they're able to win and that they will win the Super Bowl. He's their best option at quarterback. I hope he comes back. And Jerry Jones, you better take care of this guy, or you know what? I'm going to start calling you names that you ain't going to like.
I want to see how that ends up happening, and I feel real bad because you're right. They took care of Tony Romo after multiple injuries. It wasn't like Tony Romo got that $100 million contract and he didn't have a resume of his injury history. You know what I'm saying? So if they took care of Tony Romo and the success that he was able to do, and Dak came out the gate and got them to the playoffs with a 13-3 season, and the following season Zeke was out due to his off-the-field antics, they need to show some type of leeway to Dak. And I understand Dak is going to play for top dollar, especially for a guy like Jerry Jones that has actually dished that money out, and they already took care of Zeke Elliott, which, let's be honest, the quarterback lasts longer than the running back, and they gave the running back a boatload of money. So this is something that I'm thinking about, and I feel real bad for Dak because now he has to pay homage to them. They're going to basically play hardball with them. But, Sirius, your thoughts on the Dak situation, the injury, and now the potential contract situation that he's facing?
Man, I really don't need to say any more that just wasn't said, what's been echoed throughout the whole landscape of sports. I as a Steelers fan, I despise that star, and honestly, I hope that bad things happen to Cowboys players on the field and the whole 9 yards. I mean, my dad has me recorded, as a young one. My first words were, first few words were "Go Steelers" and "Cowboys suck." So, I mean, and my dad has that recorded, So, at the end of the day, I can't stand the Cowboys. With that being said, I never want to see somebody go down, to injury. Dak was really, betting on himself, and we all sat here and, on this network and on our various social media platforms and literally, threw shade and harassed Dak Prescott for turning down, a deal early on in this process. And, he was betting on themselves. It's very, very, very often that these athletes, bet on themselves in hopes that they get, a much bigger payday. We've seen it numerous times across the landscape of sports, especially in football. The gentleman who we were just speaking about, Le'Veon Bell, sat a whole season out because he was betting on himself and he felt as though there was top dollar to be found elsewhere. And honestly, for Dak Prescott, I really wish that he has a speedy recovery. And again, I echo the same sentiments that Barry just said. You know what? If you're the Jones family, you really want to, take care of this man, tip your cap to this man, and now is the time to come together, with agents and all parties alike and do right by this man. I understand this is a business. I understand this is a, unfortunately, business kind of clouds the heartstrings and clouds the on the field action. But you got to do right by this man. So hopefully Jerry Jones and company, award this man with a deal that's fair and he's able to heal and recover, and I can start hating on him again because this Dallas Cowboy love is starting to make me throw up a little bit.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I don't like doing it either, but I can't act like I didn't like Dak before he put that jersey on. Like when he was wearing, Mississippi State Bulldog stuff, and especially when he came into the league, he got beat up in a parking lot trying to defend his boy, and him and his boy got jumped, and I didn't like the fact that they did that to him. Like, Dak has one hell of a story. Like, from his mom passing to his brother killing himself and passing away, and him dealing with, you know, his mental issues. Like, I don't like to hear him go through this. So it's like, Dak, get up. Don't let this beat you down. Like stay up. Somebody got to stay in his back pocket as much as possible. Keep him upbeat because some crazy stuff could potentially end up happening. I don't want that for him to happen. But James, I'm going to close out pretty soon. Is there anything that you would like to say for Dak before we start to close up here at the Cookout?
No, I just want to, thank you guys for letting me be a part of the program, man. My Steelers are starting out on the right track. Good to see that. I can't wait for next week week after the next after the bye for the Ravens and the Ratbirds and the Steelers. So, hey, go Steelers, and thank you guys for letting me on the show. Appreciate it.
Hey, before you go that far, you better not look past the Browns. The Browns are playing good ball. They are playing good ball. You have to worry about Odell and company. Or let me say
and
it correctly. And
that's going to be a good game because last time they played, TP, remember, they had the beef. Myles Garrett.
Right, man. Right.
Don't get me started on that. Do not get me going on that.
Hey. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, man. I've never in my life thought of playing anything in any colors as ugly as those Browns uniforms. That's why I call them the Cleveland Clowns on my show. But you can call them what you want on yours. But anyway, hey, that's just the way it is.
Well, wait, first off, you're from Ohio and you're chilling for a Pennsylvania team. That's crazy. Second, give me a plug and close out anything that you like to promote so we can know where we can find your show at. Because I want to hear you talk about Cleveland, especially if they beat the Steelers in those terrible towels this Sunday.
My show is the Sports Crib. I'm actually on Blog Talk Radio tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. Right here from out of San Diego. I also do boxing on Sunday with Layman Brewster and John Scully. And on Tuesday, you can catch me with K9.
Really?
On Pound. So, hey,
really? You're with Layman Brewster? Really? Layman Brewster, the fighter, huh? Whoa. Okay. Yes. I'm going to have to come check you out.
And don't forget K9. He was on the Contender Series and two-time World Junior Middleweight champion.
Brundage. So you have Brundage on this? Okay. So you got Brundage and okay. I'm a big boxing fan, so I know about both of them. I got to come check you out. But I want to see if they give you credence for being a Steelers fan because I'm not letting that fly. Unless they're Steelers fans too, then I'm going to have to really come and get them. I got it.
No, I've always played black and gold, man. Even when I was in high school, I've always had black and gold. Pop Warner, always black and gold. I don't know. It's just something that followed me. And then, I was a member of the 101st Airborne, so still black and gold. I just can't get away, man.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with these issues. I will send help to the California area where you may be, and if they can help you, I'll have them come help you. Or if you want to talk to somebody, we could talk this out. I'm a good listener. We could get you out of that black and yellow that atmosphere.
Don't lie,
that you're in.
I can get you.
He's so ridiculous.
I can help you out. Don't worry, James. I'll talk to you, man, and I'm definitely going to check you out tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Sports Crib. And if you see us on there, we probably come ready to Chris because we cook, All right, so Steelers, you already know what to do since you're behind another Steelers fan. I can't believe I got two of you in one night here in the building. But give me a plug, close out, shout out, anything that you like to promote as we shut down the lid here at the Cookout.
Yeah. Man, it's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. It's such a pleasure to be here with you guys. Another edition of the Cookout, man. Yo, real talk. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out the way, man. This whole game this weekend is going to be fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people are making a bunch ado about a lot of different things. I'm going to say this. I was going to say this on another show, but I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't think it's going to be close. The Cleveland Browns run the football and named the last team that runs football on Pittsburgh. It just doesn't happen. It's in Pittsburgh, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Be on the lookout, TP. I got some stuff to show you on Facebook later. You know what I'm saying? My wife got an honor bet. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be fun. You know. But anyways, tell her for the telephone. It's your boy Sirius back at it again. Steelers 4-0.
Wow, it's all happening. This is going down. Wait, hold on, man. Stop all of that pineapples, man. Let me go to the dog off here to get some pineapple on the because he is up here trying to steal my line. You can't do this to people. If you feel uncomfortable because you got another Steeler fan in here, I don't care what's going on in this doggone kitchen. I will blow the lid off this doggone grill. Y'all keep trying to tally up.
I said what I said.
No, I'm saying what I said.
I said what I said.
Shaka Khan said ain't nobody. And Shaka Khan said ain't nobody.
It's your boy Sirius.
No, listen, I'm pineapples. Pineapples what all he trying to tell me. He ain't telling nobody what I'm telling him. Pineapple. Shaka Khan said ain't nobody, okay? For real. So you slow down. You and James. They look at them. They trying to be disrespectful in this building. Like, what's going on? What is really going on? Okay, so Barry, you already know what to do because I got a special plug closeout for them. Wait till I close up here. So Barry, you give me a plug closeout shout out as we close the lid here on the grid.
Thank you, Sirius, for joining in, man. Always fun talking sports with you, James. Thanks for calling in. We'll definitely tune into your show and support. The villain is back. I love it. I'm back in where I belong. Messing with TP, trying to get under his skin. It's very easy to get under a hero's skin because he's not really a hero. He's not here for you. He's here for himself, just like LeBron. You know, he's here for himself. He wants his own respect. So I'm the villain, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to save you. I'm a benevolent villain. I'm a benevolent ruler. So, listen to us next week again, same time, 9 o'clock, Wednesday, Cookout, talking all kinds of ish, whatever comes our way. I'm sure we'll be talking some NBA draft, talking about those Steelers, and my Giants still stink. On that note, I'm out. So, TP, talk to you next week, my brother.
See, now, Sports City, I got the three blind mice here, right? I got two Steelers fans, right? And I got one that's been sucking on lemons the whole show because he just the bitter face right now. Like, I feel like that commercial, the bitter beer face, after the Yankees just fell. You know what I'm saying? So then I started talking about the Yankees. He trying to cut me off, trying to cut my mic short, trying to feel some type of way like he could come in the kitchen. But it just came back to him. That karma came back around to him because just 2 weeks ago, it was me feeling like that. And he was like, you know what? You came in here talking about the Twins for 20 minutes. Let me talk about the Yankees for 20 minutes. And all he said was the team was better than us. And I'm done. That's all he had to say. Then he wants to get rid of his best hitter, so on and so forth. Sports City, in the words of Nas, life is harsh, hug me. Don't reject me or make records that disrespect me, blatant or indirectly. You feel me? This is what I'm going to do to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And for you two
No. Fake thugs who love to get the slugs. That's what you got.
Get out of here. I don't cut y'all off. Stop that. Y'all being rude. Y'all messing up my outro. I told you I had stuff for everybody. I got a dish for y'all too. Matter of fact, listen, I'm going to do it like this, Sports City. I'm going to do it like this. We here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10. We always outflow because I always put up some good food. But listen, if the Steelers lose, James King and Sirius Simmons come back to the building, and y'all got to say the Browns are best in the division because they will have the tiebreaker over y'all with the same record. On that note, tell a friend that. It's the Chefs again. And if these Steelers fans